Have you ever met a 4-year-old who believes in Santa Claus? Mm-hmm. So this is someone who believes that a fat man is traveling through the sky on a flying reindeer at lightning speed, coming down his chimney with presents.
Yeah.
Would you say that this is someone who maybe has a tenuous grasp on reality?
They have an appropriate 4-year-old handle on the
Sure.
reality
Agreed.
that's very real for them.
Agreed. But Santa Claus is real for them, but
Yeah.
Santa Claus is not actually real.
Yeah, well, but Santa Claus does deliver their Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, but he's not real, though.
To that child, they are.
When I see a child who, believes in Santa Claus, and then let's say this is a boy and he says, I'm a girl. Mm-hmm. This is someone who can't distinguish between fantasy and reality, so how could you take that as a reality?
I would say that as a pediatrician and as a parent, I would say how wonderful my 4-year-old and their imagination.
There's 7 of you here. You have to decide who leaves with $1,000.
Oh, wait, what if everyone who's not black leaves as a form of reparation? I spend every single day trying to save the world. I work on issues of climate change. I'm a good person, and I need new tires. All right, can we really pause? I really don't need you to antagonize me. Why don't you just be quiet?
I have been.
Okay, then keep going back to that.
She's in charge, everybody.
See, that's uncalled for, unnecessary.
Really? Like, I shouldn't have responded back to that?
I mean, nobody's over here talking to you. Right now, you're just wasting our time.
The irony of her saying that she's a good person, and then as the video continues to unfold, she ends up being the worst person in the video.
Do you think Piers is so offensive?
Well, I think the way that Piers talks about non-binary people is that you mock them, you make fun of them, you use them as entertainment, you use the lives of real people in this country, a vulnerable minority, as something to make fun of and get a reaction.
Well, be specific.
Well, when you claim that you're a two-spirit penguin...
Yeah, you know why I did that? If literally you can now identify in 100 different ways your gender, including two-spirit person and all this other stuff, then I'm entitled to identify as a two-spirit penguin. And what's interesting is, you want me to respect all those 100 genders, however ludicrous some of them are, but you have zero respect for my right to identify myself in any way I see fit. So, in other words, it's one rule for you. You say everyone's entitled to say they can be whatever they want. But the moment I decide that I want to be a two-spirit penguin, you go absolutely nuts and want to control how I self-identify.
That's not how it works.
That is the point I'm making.
These people are absolutely stupid, their brains have rotted, and now I identify as a white woman.
Do you know what the leading cause of death for pregnant people is?
Pregnant people, mothers, women.
If you'd like to call them mothers, not all of them are mothers, but if you'd like to call them that.
What are they if they're not mothers?
They're pregnant people.
But what people other than mothers are pregnant?
Does it bother you to use inclusive language?
In order to be a moral person, I need to accept the idea that a man can really become a woman. That's a prerequisite of my being a moral person.
Yes.
I would like to identify as the correct person on this issue. I identify as being correct and more correct than you on this issue. And I would just ask that you accept and affirm my identity.
Gotcha, bitch. What's up, guys? This is Will with PragerU. Today we are at the Glendale Unified School District, where we are talking with parents and teachers talking about teaching LGBTQ education to children. Let's do it. And guys, remember, if you are here on YouTube, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell button so that you never miss a new upload from PragerU. So why are you here today specifically?
Because I think it's absolutely ridiculous that we have to fight for the safety of our children.
You say fight for the safety of our children. What do you mean by that?
With the right-wing parents that are out there, the very small number of parents who feel like their children are going to be swayed in some way, that to change their sexual orientation, they just don't get it. That's not the way it works.
If your kid is straight, you don't have to worry about your kid suddenly becoming gay. They're straight, like they're not, and if they are gay, that's okay. Why is that a problem? Why is it a problem for it to be pushed on children?
We need to educate kids. It's a different world. These kids are seeing all about transgender and gay and lesbian and polyamorous. They're seeing it all over, and they have questions. If they hear it just from their parents, they're hearing a very skewed view of what they think transgender is.
Not everyone is the same. Not everyone is...
So what she was basically saying is, what the parents of the children are teaching to their own children is not what they should be teaching them. So who should they be listening to? So the children should be listening to you people. It's amazing how far society has fallen in the West. And it's crazy to see this is what's going on, that these people are so degenerate. This is what they're teaching and saying in public forums.
Going to have a mother and a father. They might have two moms. They might have two dads. You might have a boyfriend and a boyfriend.
People talk about it like when it comes to third graders and what happened in Florida and all that even third grade is too early for a lot of this stuff because of, some of these things might be inherently sexual. And so what do you say to that third grade is too early?
I would like to chime in that I think that that's just diminishing the LGBT community as only being about sex.
There's an uptick right now in America. They did survey results and they found that the amount of people identified as LGBT before was very small, and now those numbers have really skyrocketed, especially for Gen Z, this next generation. And a lot of people will say, oh, it's just because we're more accepting now and all this. Do you think that there is an actual push from the schools and that makes these kids actually identify as these things because the teachers are pushing it on kids?
Yes, it is being pushed on kids, partially because our culture has separated sex from love. These kids today, they can get on the phone, they can see pornography. It's the whole idea of it's just sex. It's just, doesn't mean anything.
So you were just talking about a video that was shown to class. What was that video and how old were the kids?
The kids were third graders, so they're about 8 or 9 years old. And the video in question was, I believe, an MTV personality in a roundtable discussion with children. The host mentioned that, when she was a child, she remembers watching a movie with Jodie Foster in the nude, and that's how she discovered that she might be attracted to the same sex. So we're talking about sexual attraction with a bunch of 8-year-olds, which has, in my opinion, no place in a classroom of kids that age. That topic just does not belong in the classroom at all, no matter what orientation is being discussed.
As I said, these people are sad, strange, deranged, degenerate individuals. They keep talking about how love is love, but all they do is parade around talking about sex. That's all they do. And then they'll start complaining that right-wing people, well, they think that all we do is talk about sex, and we're not really doing that. And if they're straight, they'll be straight. If they're gay, they'll be gay. These people are just degenerate people, and I keep saying it. It's absolutely sad, and until people start speaking up more against this degenerate behavior, this is just going to continue and get worse.
Protest behind me was planned to make it seem like we are against LGBT people in general, which we are not. We just don't want sexuality discussed in the classroom.
As I said, these people are sad individuals, and this is absolutely sad what they're actually doing. It's despicable if you ask me. But anyway, that was another video, another reaction. As I usually say, if you guys enjoyed the video, like the video as much as possible, comment down below, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and Twitter at YinkaThatGuy, and I am out.